Hi, my name is Roxana Vilk. I am a singer and a musician and a songwriter. I'm half of Vilk Collective with my partner Pete Vilk. Sometimes we perform as a big band, sometimes as a duo, and the music tends to be exploring Eastern and Western melodies and sounds. I'm Iranian, so some of the songs are in Farsi, some of them in English, but also we kind of make reference to Iranian poetry and landscapes and stories within the songs. The biggest turning point for me has been having children. It might not be a career moment in terms of ambition and going up a ladder, but I think having children changed my relationship to music because I started to sing them Persian or Farsi songs as lullabies to go to sleep because I can't go back to Iran and I've never been able to take them to Iran. And I suddenly felt the depth that music can have in terms of connecting you back to a homeland and a landscape, and that gave me the confidence to start standing up on stage and singing in Farsi. Even if the audience don't know the language, they can feel the emotion and sense the meaning behind it, and often I'll explain what the lyrics mean. It's kind of a career turning point, but it's kind of like a life turning point. Also, moving to Bristol has had a huge impact. For a start, it's a massively diverse city, over 96 languages, so it's great to be able to bounce off other cultures as well and feel much more comfortable expressing other languages and cultures musically. Also the opportunities that I've had here music-wise. It is a city of music, of live music in particular, and right now with the whole online world taking over, it's tough for musicians, it's really tough. However, nothing can take away from watching and experiencing music live. The fact that we live in a city where there's lots of music venues, there's lots of live opportunities, that's amazing. Collaboration is a big part of our artistic process as Vilk Collective. I think all music is collaborative really. Often you might be writing a song and then hear a part and think, oh, that would sound gorgeous on cello or saxophone. What's been amazing about Bristol is that there's other art forms to collaborate with. Recently we've been collaborating with light installation artist Squid Soup with our music, and that has totally changed things for us because our live performances have become more immersive. We often collaborate with dance. I'm a massive fan of dance. I feel that when you watch dance with live music, it gives you a way into the expressions within the music in a different way. Yes, we hear music, but we also see music in a way, and sometimes when there's a dancer expressing something within the music, it allows you in a different way. And I've definitely noticed that with multi-generational audiences. When there's a dancer, for example, children get really engaged as well. Dance is so poetic, so I feel working with dancers has just been such a joy because they respond to the music and then we change the music and there's a sort of conversation between the two art forms. I think it's really important for young children and babies to have that exposure to live music. That's not curated for children. It's not like, okay, it's song time for kids. It's actually they're allowed to go along to a gig of music that's being put on, and the parents don't have to worry if the children are moving around at the back. I think it's really important for children to be exposed because all the research around neuroscience is also showing how important music is for the brain, for our well-being, for all our nervous system. But also it means that that seed has been sown for them later in life, whether they want to pick up an instrument or go to more gigs, and get used to that fact of active listening, which is quite a special and sacred space in our society right now, which tends to be very loud, very driven visually, very noisy. To take time out with your child to be able to go and enjoy live music is also really bonding between a child and their parent and grandparent or carer. I think it is a really special thing to allow, but also the rules that we give children could be the same rules that we give all audience members. So often when we're doing gigs, and we do a lot of gigs with different ages, it's like if you want to move your body, move your body. If you want to stand at the back and move your body, fine. If you want to lie on the ground, fine. If you want to stay seated, great. If you want to close your eyes. Because often I think audiences have an anxiety around how they should behave. Shifting away from that should is really important in terms of inclusivity for audiences, but also in terms of how music is kinesthetic. So often when a child hears music, they want to move. We will say, oh no, in a concert you're supposed to sit properly and all that. And it's like, who said that? Who made that rule? Let's just break all those rules and say, let's allow music to be for everyone. And I think what St George is doing with the Lightime programming is so brilliant. Already I've got lots of friends who are like, oh, I can come to that. Finally, I can come to a gig with my children during the day. Because stuff at night, it just doesn't work for young families. It really doesn't. And it means that both the child and the parent don't get the opportunity. Motherhood does deeply inspire me as an artist. It's such a rich topic to talk about. On a deep level, motherhood is so much about my mother and my grandmother, who are Iranian. It brought up all these questions around legacy and heritage and how you pass that on to your children. And so it really started to shift my practice as an artist into looking at how we can live in countries like Britain that hold lots of different cultures, but also allow all those cultures to be held equally. So I would say that in many ways motherhood made me more political, made me more fiery to drive and speak out about the things I really care about, because you become so passionate about thinking about the future for your children and what that looks like. I think in terms of writing songs about motherhood, I haven't actually done that until quite recently. I think there's all this sort of taboos or cultural norms around what we're allowed to sing about. I realised a lot of those were in my head. Part of kind of pushing against a male-dominated music industry or a patriarchal structure that we are existing in as female artists is being able to write songs about motherhood, the good and the ugly and the difficult aspects of it. Recently, in fact, one of the songs we're going to do at our concert is about the witches, and that is a whole new area of research and discovery for us, because I didn't realise so many women that were accused of being witches and persecuted for being witches were midwives. That really shocked me and struck a chord with me, and I really wanted to see if I could write a song about that as a challenge, because I was thinking I don't know that many songs with that lyric. Definitely motherhood has changed me as an artist. It's such a huge topic. I'd have to have it all day. If I was to give mothers in the music industry one piece of advice, and it's the advice that I'd give my younger self, it would be don't give up. Don't give up. Even if it's making music while your babies are sleeping or you've got a little moment to yourself, it starts with you, your ability to have music for yourself, because music is its own reward. And to seek out other women who are musicians, so Mothers in Music, Alice's amazing work at bringing us all together, doing her collaboration with St George's, fantastic, because it's in the community with other mothers in music that we're going to make the big changes needed in the industry.